Well, this is Jared with Stampede Blue. This is your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap. The Colts won today on the road in Nashville and beat the Tennessee Titans, and the final score was 34-17. And the Colts are now 6-3, top the AFC South with the head-to-head tiebreak with the Titans. And everything went right for the Colts today, with the exception of the refereeing. There was a touchdown drive the Titans had. This is for the officials. There was a touchdown drive the Titans had where the Colts had 4 defensive penalties, and it even in a win, it feels bad to say it, but it has to get better because it wouldn't affect the outcome today, but it feels like it's had a hand in it, and I hate feeling that way. And any sports fan can understand that, right? So I'm not going to get on here and talk smack to the Tennessee Titans or their fans. I've poked fun at you, but it was a hell of a ball game. The Colts did the right thing, played ball control offense, kept the ball out of the Tennessee Titans' hands, scored touchdowns in the red zone, right? They were creative. They did everything that you could have asked them to do. Michael Pittman had a big game, 100 yards, receiving on 7 catches for the rookie. Nyheim Hines, offensive player of the game, reminds me a lot of like Darren Sproles. So for those of you that don't know who that is, Darren Sproles was a little bitty running back that the Chargers drafted in '05 after they had drafted Phillip Rivers, and they had a wonderful time together, a great career, and then Darren Sproles ended up on the Eagles. But anyway, the Colts won this game in all phases, right? So special teams was great, right? On one hand, the Colts didn't make any mistakes, right? That's always good. And then on the other, the Tennessee Titans had known deficiencies, right? They're on their like nth punter, right? He shanks one, Colts score. He gets a punt block, return for a touchdown blocked by EJ Speed, returned by EJ Carey. Carey was my defensive player of the game. Felt like the kid was all over the field, right? Like a perfect replacement for Kenny Moore. Made plenty of pass deflections, passes defended. I'm sorry, at the point of attack, on key downs. You gotta have that out of somebody's got to be playing with their brain out there, right? Because TJ Carey's not the biggest guy, but he makes the biggest plays, man. And shout out EJ Speed. That was a guy that we've talked about at length and said, hey, maybe we got high hopes for this kid. He's a really good athlete. You saw that nice little bend there on that rush to block that punt. And I get it. The punter's been an issue. And then Gostkowski missed his 8th field goal. And that's pretty much the deficit. 17 points right there is pretty much the deficit. Otherwise, very tight contest, man. Super impressed with Derrick Henry. That kid is tough as fucking nails, man. And Ryan Tannehill, got to protect your quarterback. He got hit way too much. But he was 15 for 27 for 149 yards. That's the ball game right there. The Colts let the Titan offense get cold on the sideline, and they came out like White Castle. You know what I mean? They came out like leftover White Castle. That's literally, you just had Derrick Henry, and you tried to feed it to Brown, and he just wasn't trying to catch the ball today. And Jonnu Smith wasn't trying to jump for nothing. And it really just came down to the Colts will hit you in the mouth until you decide you don't want to do that anymore. And then when you decide you don't want to do anymore, they're going to go around you. And that's exactly the way it works. And DeForest Buckner had a big game. But the other MVP, like the super MVP, is Grover Stewart. If y'all don't know who that is, Nyheim Hines out of NC State, Jacoby Brissett, NC State, Phillip Rivers, NC State, and then there's Grover Stewart. That's a Division II player, and the kid is outstanding. And you're gonna see a lot more of him as long as he stays healthy. Justin Houston had a big hit, but yeah, that defensive line's great. We got a great looking defense. Held one of the top offenses in the NFL, I believe, under 300 yards, at least when it mattered. And yeah, 6-3 atop of the AFC South alone, with the head-to-head tiebreak with the Titans, who are also 6-3. Get the Packers next week, and then the Titans again. Got a long layoff, so about 10 days between times you'll see me. Otherwise, but this has been Jared with Stampede Blue. This has been your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap, and hey, enjoy the rest of the games this week. Have a great week. Please wear a mask. Stay safe out there, And we'll see you next week. We'll see you after next week's games.